the drones mystery still continues. New Jersey police have been reporting that they're still seeing these objects. The government has been conspicuously quiet.
And while the rest of the internet was busy reading, we were busy creating on all these new UAP drones that have been emerging around the world. Yeah, that's right, folks. People have thought, oh, the New Jersey drones have simply disappeared or vanished. No, my friends, that is far, far from the case. For some reason, the mainstream media has totally been silent about this issue for the past week and a half. However, there have been new drone sightings every single day, multiple times a day, since January 1st. Nothing has changed, and actually the frequency of these drone, orb, and UAP viewings have only increased substantially. I don't understand why the media isn't covering it, but we're going to get right into it right now. Starting over in Seaside Park, New Jersey. You know, you watch The Sopranos on January 6th, 2025, yesterday. There was this orb sighting over the ocean. Now, this isn't the moon, folks. You can see the pulsating light emanating and changing shape on this glowing object out on the ocean. I believe this was also at the state park, captured on previous footage that we've shown before in another video. This thing is moving across the sky. This is going a lot faster than the moon moves. So this clearly isn't a lunar celestial object. This is, I'm going to say it's a massive orb in the sky, because what is making something look so bright? And it's not a plane. This isn't a plane, folks. You would hear the engines from the plane if the light was that big. Out on the ocean, that means the plane's fairly close to us, right? Look how far this is casting right here into the ocean background, right? Into the distance, very far, illuminating some of the cloud cover from the sea. But if it was brighter out there, right, it would be, you'd think that it would be closer to us, right? Does that not make more sense? And now it's just floating far away up here. It's going higher and higher away. You can tell because the reflection, well, obviously, right, that's going up, but the reflection is getting further and diminished on the actual ocean surface. Now let's look closer at some of the shape changes that the orb is going through. As you can see, sort of the spherical shell has some sort of plasmatic fluctuations to it. It's definitely not a straight object. It seems to be circular and moving as it goes through the sky. And now it's doing some sort of blinking motion as it pulsates. This is definitely some orb someone captured, and it's got to be going super fast, because this looks like it's fairly close to us, but it can't be that close. Look how far, again, the reflection goes into the ocean itself. This isn't a helicopter. This isn't a plane. This is something unexplainable. And look, this was on January 6th. This was yesterday. This wasn't even 24 hours ago, folks. These drones and orbs and unexplained aerial phenomena have not ceased being in this area. And remember, there's a no flight restriction. I always emphasize this every video, but we're going to get into that as its own can of worms a little bit later. And no, this isn't the Christmas star. I wish it was. Possibly it is. That was a joke, okay? This is definitely some, well, I would chalk it up to non-human intelligence emerging over the ocean. This isn't ball lightning, although it does have some properties of ball lightning. It's moving very weirdly out there, but it must be very massive if it's casting such a large light profile in the reflective surface of the ocean. You could easily chalk this, if you stilled this, you could be like, oh, that might be the moon. No, not with how it moved. That's crazy, folks. It's scary. A little scary, but hopefully they come in peace. Let me know what you guys thought that was. And continuing on the East Coast, we have this possible orb sighting in North Carolina. I believe it was as of this year, 2025. We're going to watch this as it sort of changes shape. We can see the plasma field around it sort of changes how it's presenting itself. It also changes colors for us. But the energy field around it is changing shape as we see, and it's very, very strange in how it flickers. I don't know what this is. I am chalking it up to another orb. I wish the filmer had sort of filmed it with reference sort of background motion so we'd understand more of the area where it's filmed and have a reference to how fast it's moving or how slow it's moving. But what do you guys chalk these orbs up as, and why are they emerging more? Is this really what the drones were presenting as? I've heard theories, folks, that some of these orb entities are projecting hologram images of, and I've heard this from multiple sources, of planes and other aerial vehicles and even the drones themselves to sort of disguise themselves as these objects. One of the notorious stories, and this was a video that was scrubbed from the internet, but it was one of the first drone videos, was of an airplane seemingly flying the wrong direction, and everyone was like, that doesn't make sense at all. Okay, this was the tail end of the airplane going forward. Now, maybe it was edited, but I doubt it, and it seemed to change shape later on as being bright lights just in the sky. I think you guys have seen the video. I'm going to try to find that. If you have seen these in person, let me know in the comments section what you guys think these are, or if you've had any experiences with orb sightings. Wow, and we're going back to Brazil, and this was taken last night. A UAP sighting, and I'm chalking this up as the same spoon UFO we've seen flying over Brazil the last few days. If you remember, on New Year's Eve, the spoon UFO was captured flying over Sao Paulo and Rio at different times at around midnight, and it just seemingly flew silently over the whole country. This spoon-shaped UFO, and this is a cigar shape, but it kind of has traits similar. I originally said the spoon one was a cigar UFO. However, this, I believe if this was filmed a little bit better, would once again assert that this would be that same spoon UFO. And actually it looks like, well, I can't tell from the direction, right? They could be filming it the other way, or, you know, they're not filmed the same way as the previous ones. The previous ones all showed it going on a certain trajectory over the sky, and this seems to be going on the opposite axis to that. So could it possibly be the same one? I don't know, but this was apparently filmed yesterday. So the spoon UFO or a cigar UFO, this could be a different one. I do believe it is the same one. If you haven't seen the spoon UFO, it is in previous videos I've done. The one I did just 2 days ago had multiple encounters with the spoon UFO over Brazil. I'm going to call it Brazil because that's how I've heard people say it. It's Brazil, right? I don't know why I even said that. It's just a joke. But this looks like it's the same phenomena being captured, and this was 6 days later? 6 days later from New Year's Eve? Folks, these UAP UFO sightings have only increased in their frequency and their intensity, really. Like, there are new ones coming out every few hours, and for some reason, and I always harp on this point, I don't know why I have to, the mainstream media is totally silent, acting like this never even happened. However, we're going to get into a story about that in a second. I think you know why they are being like that. Anytime there's UFO phenomena, they generally are quiet. However, this is happening with such great intensity all around the planet, and with so much video evidence, I don't think they're going to be quiet for much longer. The drone incident spiked it. They tried to bury that story, But like it's literally a flood of information coming in every single day. I mean, when did they stop talking about it? Right around Christmas. Right around Christmas, slightly after. There have been like 100 or more, probably 100 to 500 videos that have come out since then of new sightings, and they're just acting like, oh, it was only in New Jersey. No, it's all around the world, the entire planet. As I always say, once we get the China data, you're going to see some crazy, not to quote Dr. Brown, okay, Dr. Emmett Brown. You're going to see some crazy I think you know what I mean. Because that's going to explode everyone's minds. I am only assuming, okay, just based on how often we're seeing them in the United States and how often we're seeing them everywhere else in Europe. China is going to be absolutely massive once we get that data set in. But let me know in the comments, do you guys think this is the same spoon UFO over Brazil that we've been covering the past few days? And why has it reappeared on January 6th? If it is, in fact, the same one, it could be just a generic cigar one, which it might be. And what do you guys think this is? Why, it's so bright in the sky. It's so well lit. That doesn't make sense. Again, this isn't Starlink. People have speculated that it might be Starlink. I've done a whole video, and I will probably include it in other ones, showing you the difference between Starlink and what this is. This isn't even close, okay? Not even the same animal at all. It would not be confused as that. Well, here is some unusual aerial phenomena covered in Kazakhstan on January 5th, 2025. You see the family is over in this town square, and they're capturing what looks like a giant cross projected into the sky. Now, I don't know what this is. If I had to take a guess, it could be just a projected image that is blasted from the ground into the cloud cover. Now, with clouds, they can essentially work as a screen. If you don't know how that works, it's like how they had spotlights back in the day, a long time ago. Not a long time ago, they still have them, right? But you'd have giant spot and searchlights for, say, like movie premieres and stuff like that. Or even at your local theater, they probably have some for key nights where they can project the lights into the sky. And depending on how volumetric the clouds are, right, how the thickness of the clouds and the particulate in the air at night, it will capture the light that's presented on it. So you could have, like, if it in a smoke-filled room, okay, if you bust out a flashlight, it'll emit light in patterns that you can sort of shape. Now, this could be two spotlights intersecting in the sky. This could be just the image of a cross. This looks like there's multiple churches in the area that are projected in the sky. You want to keep in mind with religious nature, right? This is getting close to the eve of Epiphany at Orthodox Christmas, right? That's, I believe, on the 7th is when that occurs. The 12 days of Christmas, old school style, start on Christmas Day. Just clearing that up, right? So it could be that this church is projecting this image into the sky. Now, it could be something totally different. This could be just light pollution, and I'm acting like a skeptic. But it could be something totally different that we don't even know about. This could be UAP phenomena. I guess we could technically call it that, because I don't know what this is. I have no explanation. I've given what I thought it could be, practically, right? Religiously, you could chalk this up as a religious experience, right? I mean, there are churches nearby. As I said, we're getting close to that time of year. Well, we are in that time of year, essentially, right? That this could be that being presented in this region. it isn't. Look, you can't discount things as non-existing, right? Miracles do happen, and maybe this doesn't intersect with our usual science-based phenomena, okay? Our UAP, UFO aliens. This could be something religious-based, and I think it's worth mentioning that and not discounting that as a possibility. I don't know what this is, but I hope that cleared things. Well, I don't want to say cleared things up. I hope we asked the right questions, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section just in covering this. I don't know what this is, but I have some ideas, and I hope you guys have some too. And guess what, folks? The drones are continuing on the East Coast. This was recorded just before New Year's, actually just after Christmas. They are recording with two different cameras. I almost said objects. With two different cameras, the same object. And as you can see, this object is presenting itself wildly different on one camera versus the other. This is a possible drone sighting, but also presenting like an orb into the camera itself, like it knows that it doesn't want to be seen when actually picked up by this camera on the bottom. Now, it exhibits the same pulsating energy fields that orbs are known for. However, when I look up at the top, it looks like it has the navigational lights from the drones, so I'm going to chalk it up as that. And it could possibly be a helicopter, and perhaps the focus function on the camera isn't that good on the bottom one. That is a possibility. We can't discount that. However, it does seem pretty weird, and it does run in line with these drones that we've been seeing on the East Coast that have not ceased their operations. They've only increased. And look, this is pretty freaking crazy, dude. Whoops. Why I like this video in particular is that they're filming it with two different cameras at the same time. So you can actually see how the drone presents itself to one camera versus the actual camera. And I'm going with the top one is the better footage, and the bottom one, for some reason, is capturing what the orb is doing. Now, is that some sort of force field it's presenting around itself? I don't know. It's pulsating energy. It is weird. And this one on top looks more like a drone like we've been used to seeing from the New Jersey area. What do you guys think about this one, folks? Leave a comment in the comment section what you think is going on here. Because this looks like it's a drone and an orb. And I've heard from some people that they are one and the same, and it's orbs presenting holograms that they are in fact drones, whereas they're actually really orbs. It looks like a little nucleus, the woman says. Yeah, that's what an orb looks like every time it's been filmed.
The date's on my fucking camera up there.
And here's another video from South Carolina, the day after Christmas, Boxing Day special. Another drone sighting. And people say this could be a plane. I doubt it. You don't really hear a plane. You hear the car driving, but you don't hear a plane, which you would be hearing if it was a plane of that size with those lights flying that low.
I was joking when I said beam me up, Scotty, a little bit.
And the girl said, beam me up, Scotty, is a joke, and now she's getting called out for it. Yeah, you get what you ask for her. Drive the other way, please. This is probably some of the best footage of drones we've seen. Look, and it doesn't seem to have, or it has two red blinking lights, but it doesn't have the red and green navigational lights we were used to seeing on some of the other drones. Looks like the drones have been moving a little further south. How low to the ground is this, though? It's got to be pretty low.
Okay, stop talking.
And it wouldn't be, I don't know, it wouldn't be up there, well, in view for that long if it was this low in an airplane. A commercial airplane would be flying overhead much faster than this. Someone in the comments said Klingon bird of prey. Yeah, it might. Hey, Kapla, right? It might be. It has. Listen, if you ever watch the old Star Trek movies, that's like the same lighting pattern that it has. Wow, we're just nerding out here, but it's true. No one has an explanation for what this is. If you brought up the flight radar, I wish she had this. There's the flight radar app where you can actually see what airplanes were flying over the area. And if she had this data with this, we could correlate it to it being a plane or not. But even then, I've never seen a plane look like this. Have you guys? Let me know in the comments section what you think this one is. What are the U.S. officials saying? Well, it's still silence. All right, we're going to New York City and JFK, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, your favorite president, airport, here on January 5th, 2 days ago at 7:45 p.m. Look at this. Possible drone sighting. What the heck?
Drones. That's right over the airport.
These objects are flying, hovering over the sky, over the airport itself. And we all remember that there was drone flight restrictions for this general area in, well, mostly New Jersey. But this is crazy. What the hell are we seeing right here? We know this light moved. This is just a reflection. Don't worry about that. No, don't. It's just a reflection. Don't freak out. But these three objects here we need to freak out about because that isn't normal. They've been moving across the sky very slowly. And even the family filming this, like the little girl, is freaking out. These objects are hovering over the airport, and we don't know what the hell is going on.
Drones.
They're drones is what the father says, and it looks like one of them, I can't place which one moved over here. I'm guessing it was this one. These two look like they're at the same position. This is actually a flight risk, which we're going to cover in an actual news media broadcast in a sec. But this is over JFK Airport, probably the busiest airport in the country. And these drones are hovering over it. These aren't helicopters, people. If these were helicopters, they would be moving. They'd have to maintain some sort of movement either vertically, like this, or horizontally. It wouldn't be perfectly still like these ones are, which is, the lights over JFK are very alarming, to say the least. We don't know what the hell is going on, and the media and government are being totally silent about it.
Drones.
I don't know. Are you guys thinking that these are drones? I know they're not orbs, but they do exhibit the same characteristics of the drones, and they're being very suspicious over the airport itself. There's probably going to be so much more footage from this. Like, this is a very busy area on some of the busiest travel days in the year, so you should see a bunch more footage of this come in the next few days. But as I said, the flight restrictions over this area, over sort of the New Jersey area, have only been expanded. As I said, the FAA, we're on the FAA actual website right now, has expanded these, and the media stopped covering this, right? The media basically said, oh, they're done like January 3rd or something. No, these have been renewed, the flight restrictions, and they go on all the way to January 19th and end at 4:59 in the morning. Temporary flight restrictions for special security reasons. Excuse me. What is that supposed to mean? We heard about the missing nuclear material that I don't even want to get into. We cannot get into that on this platform. I hope you guys subscribe, by the way. That is a whole theory in itself, that allegedly some nuclear material went missing and these drones are being deployed to search for it. Now, that doesn't explain all the other sightings all around the world but it does explain possibly this area. They're looking, apparently, according to the story, and remember, this was 3 weeks ago, this was posted online, these drones are using particle emissions to detect radiological disturbances. Okay, if you see radiation spikes on your graphs, you would know. And there are particle counters, essentially, online where you can actually see radiation, that chart radiation per area. I believe the site's called CPM or something. And you can actually check this in real time if you need to, and it gets updated. It's just like how the air pollution, there are maps that chart your air pollution for your area, and it's just like a Google map, and it will just have pings of radiation samples. Basically, there's radiation all the time, everywhere, but it's at a very low rate, essentially. But if you see spikes of it, where it's colorized too, so it's like green, yellow, orange, red. We don't want to know what red is, okay? And this thing would be giving off so many emissions that people, like, you'd be able to track. Well, the drones would certainly be able to track it if they're looking for it, if it was public facing. Now, and that means not contained in a lead container. Okay, we're not going to get into more details about it. Okay, we're flying too close to the sun here on YouTube. We're going to get more into the restrictions right now. So this radius is 1 nautical mile from the surface all the way up to and including 400 feet. And what flies around that? Drones, okay? Filed from the New York Center. There you go. This is it. See, and the media has totally stopped covering it. This was issued right before New Year's Eve, the day before New Year's Eve. And it has extended these flight restrictions all the way to January 19th. So that doesn't explain why you've seen more drones appear, has it? But also how we were talking about these drones over JFK. You want to watch this video from News Nation where Ross Coulthart talks about the drones themselves. He actually mentions that apparently in Florida, the drones were almost a flight risk where a plane almost at 25,000 feet, folks, over Florida, almost hit a metallic sphere object in the sky that no one knows about and no one knows what it is. But again, this is according to Ross Coulthart on News Nation.
Recently reported where a Gulfstream jet nearly actually collided with a metallic object,
right?
Possibly one of these drones, at 27,000 feet over Florida. So this is a very serious flight safety issue.
It's a flight safety issue.
The head in sand attitude on this drone's mystery continues.
Yeah, and with the drones you just saw over JFK Airport, that's serious. That's a flight risk issue right there. They were hovering right over it. A friend of mine has sent me a video from Leeds, UK, where there is a drone detected at an airport from, I believe it was a year ago. So right now, Ross is going to get into the alleged mothership allegations from the apparent Iranian mothership that has been reported, but also the China connections. And he hasn't seen any connections to it.
Been suggesting that it was an Iranian mothership, that it was the Russians, now the Chinese. Nobody's put up a shred of evidence to support this contention.
Exactly.
The government has been conspicuously quiet.
They have been quiet, exactly. And we haven't seen any footage, videos, or pictures of this apparent mothership launching these drones. Now, what Ross is going to get into here is about what happened in Las Vegas on January 1st, because something has emerged from that, and I believe it needs to be talked about, because apparently at the Las Vegas thing that happened, the perpetrator of that wrote in his journal that he had some information about these drones, and they were in fact,
there are some pretty radical claims that were made by
I'm trying to find the right word for it, connected to
Tesla Cybertruck
Possibly China.
explosion. As part of his alleged manifesto, though, he claims that the drones spotted across the East Coast are coming from China. There's a big chance that these are, commentary from, we have to say this, a mentally ill person.
Now, Ross will get into this and possibly debunk
leaders
this.
alike do to stop conspiracy theorists and rumors online from swirling and spreading before they start?
Okay, very good point here. There's absolutely no evidence from any of my sources that these objects are coming from China. Everybody's telling me that there is no capacity by China to deliver car SUV-sized drones, so-called, over US airspace from supposed submarines off the coast. That's a technical ability that China just doesn't have. The allegations, as you say, he was clearly a man operating under mental stress. He was suffering from PTSD and a marriage breakup. Everything he says should be taken with a considerable grain of salt. But is it possible that as somebody briefed into a national security secret, he was given an explanation for these supposed drones, i.e. China, which may in fact not be accurate? Is the government telling falsehoods to its own people to try and cover for something perhaps more anomalous in explanation? We just don't know. And I think that the situation that we have at the moment is we have the extraordinary situation where yet again local aldermen, mayors and police from New Jersey are reporting that these mystery objects are still appearing in the sky over New Jersey, New York airspace, and the government conspicuously has failed to make any kind of an announcement since the 17th of December, when it suggested that all of these incursions were supposedly lawful craft of some kind.
See, even Ross said the sightings have only continued, and the government and the media has been totally silent about it. We're going to get into more, at least one more, on this video. There are possible drone sightings in Martins Beach, California, 2 days ago, January 5th, 2025. All right, there's probably at least 15 drones out there, and including the previous ones we've seen. Look at them. They have the red and green navigational lights. These are just like the ones we saw over in New Jersey that started this whole phenomenon, and they are flashing. I can't tell if the red ones right here are radio towers. They could possibly be. I don't think they are, though. They look more stationary in that previous shot, but we can see the ones flying right here. And this one again, pulsating over. This is probably some of the best footage we've seen. And, people thought these phenomena were located or localized just to the New Jersey area, as I've been saying all week, all around the world, and even on the Pacific coast. People are seeing more and more drone sightings every single day. But you guys let me know in the comment section if you've been enjoying these UAP drone videos, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.